Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General Rounds, thank you for your service to our great country and all the panelists for being here. I was asked to speak about 2 weeks ago at the Tennessee Valley Charter meeting on entrepreneurship and job creation. And I wondered why, when you hear the administration say that we have 14.5 million new jobs, unemployment rate has gone down from 9% to 5%, all are true. Why is it when you poll the American people that 70% and a majority of Democrats are saying the country's headed in the wrong direction? It doesn't make sense. I mean, those two things together don't make sense. And I began to look at it in detail. And what's happened is between 1992 and 96, during that recession, 420,000 new businesses were formed in this country. Between 2002 and 2006, 400,000 new businesses were formed. Between 2010 and 2014, 166,000 businesses were formed. And what happened was 20 counties in this country made up half the new businesses formed in America. And 60% of the counties in America actually had a net loss. That's why we as the American people feel like we're going in the wrong direction. And in my opinion, the way the other side, Dr. Bernstein, you are an advisor to the president, believe that raising the minimum wage and doing this salary is actually helping the economy. It's not. If complying with government regulations were a country, it would be the 4th largest country in the world, just compliance cost. And this is going to add another compliance cost to what we're doing. I'm a Boy Scout, an Eagle Scout. I worked at a scout camp every summer. There's no way on this earth that non-for-profit, as a matter of fact, I've got to write them a check when I get home. There's no way in the world that they can comply with this. If you're a scout leader and you go by on a Friday morning to set up a jamboree for the weekend for Boy Scouts, by Sunday morning you got to leave them because you've done your 40 hours and you haven't worked all week. I worked there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week when I was a camp counselor. As you were saying, when do we start counting? You talk about 0.1%. At the University of Tennessee, it's going to add $9 million to the University of Tennessee system, which is a 2% increase in tuition for every student in the system. I talked to one of the land-grant colleges 2 weeks ago when I was at the Valley Charter meeting. It's going to add $2 million cost to that one college. Tuition costs have skyrocketed. That's the last thing we need to do. And at the University of Kansas, that cost has got to be passed on. And Dr. Bernstein, I'll point out, in our great state of Tennessee, we have cut taxes. We have the lowest per capita debt in the nation. We provide free community college for people, so it can be done by lowering bureaucratic hurdles, and this is just one of them. General Rounds, I want you to, because this to me is a very personal. I was on the foundation board of my college, and providing a quality education for someone like me who's a first-generation student, it's another barrier that's out there. And I don't know how non-for-profits like Ms. Sharby you're talking about are ever going to comply with this. So, General Rounds, if you'd like to comment on the cost, and then Ms. Sharby, if you would.
Thanks, Congressman Rowe. As I pointed out in my testimony, if you look at the fact that we're relatively flat or decreasing in our budget, it makes the absorption of any additional cost very difficult without taking dramatic steps. And in this case, the ability to absorb these costs because they're not available means that for the majority of the individuals impacted, they will become non-exempt as opposed to exempt, and they will not be able to provide the same services that they currently do because they have very good flexibility in how they execute their job responsibilities. They will lose that flexibility.